experience, if you will, as Jesus makes his way into the city. And there's a lot to be said about Jesus' choices, a donkey versus a stallion, Jesus coming in as a humble servant instead of as a conquering king, all those sorts of things that you could look at. And I kind of wanted to just kind of look at it from a little bit of a different perspective. Sometimes in our lives, when we see God at work and we don't see him doing what we think he should be doing or the way that we think he should be doing it, we get frustrated. Now, in the moment, the people saw the Messiah coming, and so they started treating him like royalty. But I'm sure that there were people who were like, why is he on a donkey? Why isn't he dressed in royal robes? Why isn't this supposed to be the Messiah? Now, they're saying, Hosanna in the highest. So they're saying, praise be to God. And they're recognizing him. They're talking as if he is in the office and operating as the Messiah. But yet, in many ways, they don't have eyes to see. And sometimes it's just a matter of us paying attention to what God is doing us and learning how to see the way that he directs our lives. And sometimes these directions that God gives us are in small incremental steps, especially when we don't think that he's doing it right. Now, let me give you a prime example of what that would look like. Let's look at what happens when you maybe think you're headed in the right direction and you think you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing for God, but somehow you've gotten off track because you don't understand what God was trying to do. And now you find yourself in a place where you're like, oh, God, reveal yourself to me so I can get back on track. And so, like we've all been there before, right? Now get up and go to the city and you will be told what you must do. So Saul's encounter with Jesus, he vehemently opposes followers of Christ, and suddenly a light that's brighter than the sun blinds him, and the voice is saying, why are you persecuting me? When Saul asks and figures out that it's Jesus, his first move, the first step towards getting back on track is realizing that I'm not in control, and what I want God to do is not what's important. It's what Jesus came to do. It's his mission that really, really matters. This dramatic encounter shows us that God's guidance isn't about grand plans that we envision for ourselves, but it's more about the simple, obedient step of following me. Notice what Jesus says every time he calls a disciple, because this is Saul's calling into discipleship, right? He's saying, come and follow me. And so he says to him with a very simple statement, get up and go to the city and you'll be told what you must do.